Hello, gamers, and welcome to a gaming news here. And I thought we're going to take a look at some important news that might be worth talking about, particularly the fact that we now have two gaming movies that have been somewhat scheduled, or not scheduled, but at least one has been announced and one has been scheduled, and that is Super Mario Bros. Sequel. The sequel for the Super Mario Bros. Movie has been set for April 2026, or more specifically, 3rd of April is when they're going to release in the US, which is going to be roughly around that first weekend of April, is when we're going to see it released in the US and across Europe. And then it's going to hit Japan on the 24th of April, 2026. So 2026 is going to April 2026 is when you will get to see the Super Mario Bros. Sequel. If you're curious about when you can check out this sequel of the Super Mario Bros. Film franchise and see them grow this franchise, which is going to be great. So yeah, so that's pretty cool that we're going to get to see some more from Super Mario Bros. Movie franchise finally being built by Nintendo, and they're continuing the legacy with the second movie in 2026. Now, not only that, but we also got a movie announcement from Sony, and that is that they are indeed working on this sequel for the Uncharted movie, which obviously Tom Holland, who you obviously referred, we all know him for playing Spider-Man, Sony Picture World. He is potentially on the cards to return as Nathan Drake following the success of the first Uncharted movie in 2022. So, and Mark Wahlberg as Sully might possibly make a return as well. So we might be essentially seeing those two make a return. Which we did see a little sort of thing at the end of the movie that kind of teased the idea of a sequel. So yeah, it's pretty nice to know that they're indeed working on a sequel for the Uncharted movie, which is great. Now, not only that, but also Sony are also in production of another Nintendo franchise movie, which is The Legend of Zelda. That's another project they're also working on with Nintendo to bring to life. So that's another video game movie we can expect to see in the coming years. But yeah, this is just another movie, a game-related movie that we can expect to see. Obviously, a full title name hasn't been revealed yet, but at least we know the Uncharted series will, in terms of the movies, will be getting a sequel in the near future. We don't know when it's going to be, but I'm sure we'll hear more details soon. So yeah, I thought I'd mention that for those who might be excited about the prospect of the Uncharted movies finally getting some news, which is great. As well as that, we also had some news for GTA Online. They're launching a new update on the 25th of June, which is next week. Bottom Dollar Bounties. It's a new update from Rockstar. It's coming out to all the supported platforms for GTA Online. This is it's a very decent update as well. They've got quite a lot of stuff for Rockstar Create, a lot of things going on. Oh yeah, so definitely check that out from Rockstar if you want to. There'll be a link if you want to see some of the details for the release of this new GTA Online update that's going to be arriving on June 25th, 25th of June. If you're looking to check out this new release, then on top of that, we also got confirmation about Beyond Good and Evil 20th anniversary. It's releasing next week from Ubisoft, so we are definitely getting the 20th anniversary Beyond Good and Evil, even though we're still waiting for its sequel to be finally made. What the hell is going on with it, Ubisoft? Hopefully sort it out. But yeah, at least it's good to know that we're getting a celebration of the first game in an anniversary edition coming next week on the 25th of June, that is. On top of that, some news about Gamescom regarding Microsoft. Microsoft have confirmed they're going to be bringing some games to Gamescom, which are including Avowed, Diablo 4's Vessel of Hatred expansion, Diablo Immortals, apparently, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, Towerborn, which we still yet to see an official release date announced for that game, and World of Warcraft: The War Within, are just some of the games that they're going to be bringing to made playable as part of Gamescom on the 21st to the 25th of August this year, when they celebrate their biggest booth yet at the event. And also, they're sort of teasing there's more to come, so there's definitely going to be some games announced at Gamescom that are going to be coming to Xbox, which is going to be nice for Xbox fans who are curious about what games we can expect to see announced during Gamescom 2024. Hopefully, some big names are coming to Game Pass in the near future. We'll see. But either way, why Xbox will be in Germany for Gamescom this August, and they just revealed some of the games they're going to be bringing with them to celebrate the event this year. Now, obviously, we know one department that will not be there, and that is Sony. Sony have once again skipped Gamescom 2024. That is pretty obvious at this point because I think it's pretty that we're probably going to be getting some sort of a PlayStation event in September, considering it kind of makes sense that Sony are likely to do some sort of a showcase or a state of play for September where they're going to be announcing some more games later this year for 2025 potentially. So yeah, it just makes sense that Sony are probably going to do their own thing in September that is away from Gamescom. It doesn't rule out the potential of Sony giving some announcements to Jeff Keighley during his Gamescom opening night live on the 20th of August. So chances are we're probably going to get some announcements on that day, Jeff Keighley from Sony, obviously. Call of Duty have also released their update today yesterday for the Fallout crossover that they're doing. Yes, Fallout have got their own event in Call of Duty where you can now earn the Fallout gear as skin Call of Duty, which is really cool that they're celebrating their Xbox related crossover between Bethesda and Activision, which is really crazy that we're seeing crossover between these two studios, but publishers, etc. But either way, it's cool. It's cool to see that Fallout are getting recognized in Call of Duty, and you can now take part in it right now if you fancy getting your hands on it. Ubisoft are also facing a bit of a controversy because of the competition they're doing on TikTok. You may have seen the TikTok post where they have basically issued this competition where they're giving fans the opportunity to voice record for a second NPC in Assassin's Creed Shadows, and this kind of rubbed the voice actors the wrong way after they heard that they're doing this as a competition, because voice actors give it their all for Ubisoft and any gaming publisher who needs voice actors. So you can imagine how annoyed they are when they found out that, hey, this is a job, not a competition, which you can imagine what the voice actors are thinking right now after seeing Ubisoft are treating this like it's a competition. Yeah, not particularly a good look in Ubisoft now that they're doing this for their fans, and they're treating their voice actors like they're crap, basically, when they're not really, because they're very talented, and it just rubs them the wrong way, the way that they've handled the situation. Now, on top of this, we did get some other pieces of news, and that is that it seems as though that Fear Effect, a classic PlayStation 1 game, could be gunning for a 2025 release. It looks as though that, they're essentially planning to make a comeback for the game thanks to Limit Run, who have officially announced it will be making a return in 2025 for sort of like a remaster release that they want to do in 2025 for PS4, PS5, and Xbox. So this is a classic game from the PlayStation 1 days that will be making a return to the console and to the PlayStation platform in basically as we enter next year. On top of this, we also had some news regarding the fact that Sony apparently is pulling funding for PlayStation VR 2. So they were pretty because of the unsuccessful nature of PlayStation VR 2. It seems like the funding might be cut from the headset, which means that they're probably going to be ending production of the VR 2, which means the VR 2 is probably not going to be getting any more games pretty soon at this rate, which, it sounds promising that they're probably going to be wrapping up game development for the VR headset, which is not very surprising. PlayStation VR 2 has just really done really well for them. The console seems to do better than VR 2 at this rate. So just makes sense that they're probably just going to cancel the more headsets being made and maybe future games being worked on at this rate. Also, it's good to hear that Microsoft are also pleased about Sea of Thieves' PS5 sales, which is good to know that they're very pleased with how it's been doing on the PlayStation platform since it made its way to PlayStation platform, and also the fact that we've been seeing a lot of rumors about Helldivers, Hellblade 2, Starfield, and a remastered Halo Combat Evolved being all considered for that PlayStation 5 release at some point. So we'll see what happens regarding future Xbox games coming to PlayStation, which who knows, maybe Gamescom is when we're going to hear more about it. We also had some more reveals for Dune Awaken, which kind of gave us a bit more of an atmosphere in terms of the sandstorm. Yep, there's going to be a sandstorm involved in this game that's going to reshape the world weekly. So it's going to basically feel like it's going to change over time, which is really cool that they're going to do this as part of the Do Awaken game. So every time you enter the battlefield, the sandstorm is going to change the way you see the location, which is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out when the game comes out. And I'm thinking it's leaning more towards that this game probably going to be due out in 2025, considering the amount of hype for this game. I'm calling it. It's going to be 2025. We'll get to play this, which will be really cool if it does happen. We also had the update for Elden Ring, which, speaking of Elden Ring, there's been a lot of praise for the new DLC. Shadow of the Elden Tree's been getting a lot of hype since its release. It's been voted, considerably be voted as like the best rated DLC of all time, pretty much. Elden Ring's just dominating in terms of its DLC, and everyone's just loving it. Considering it's just come out this week, it just makes sense. It's getting a lot of praise right now, so that's pretty. It's pretty nice to see that they're getting a lot of love right now for that game, and it's to hear that Elden Ring's getting a lot of love. And there's patch notes. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see the patch notes for that have come out to celebrate the launch of the DLC. We also had an extended gameplay overview of Space Marine 2 for Warhammer. That's going to be coming out in September, so it makes sense one to show off some more gameplay. So I'll leave that in the description if you want to see what they're doing with the game heading into its release. Oh yeah, and also the fact that PlayStation Stars program is still offline after 2 weeks. Apparently, the engineers are still working on it. They don't know what's going on, so I'm sure we'll hear some updates soon, I hope, of what the hell's happening with that. Bandcom are also promising some anime game announcements at Anime Export in July, where they're going to be doing a showcase there, revealing some of their upcoming anime-related titles that's going to be coming to the platform. Also, we might have gotten hints towards another PlayStation Plus classic title that's going to be coming to the service, which is Time Splitter. This is a game that originally came out under the EA Games banner once upon a time. But yeah, Time Splitter, this game is going to be getting a potential release on PS5 and PS4, maybe as part of the PlayStation Plus collection in July of next year, which is pretty nice to hear that we're seeing another Time Splitter game potentially return in 2024. The fact that we're going to see a return of another classic to PlayStation Plus, which is really exciting to hear. So big win for PlayStation if they manage to get it out within the next month. Hopefully, we'll find out soon what's happening. Now, another Amazon game that's also going to be arriving on PlayStation is the Ford of Liberty. It comes out on September 17th, but they have promised an open beta in mid-July, so this is probably going to happen after the New World beta takes place on Xbox. PlayStation are going to be getting an open beta for Throne and Liberty, which is their sort of, essentially it's their free-to-play fantasy MMO that's going to now be coming to console, and PlayStation is going to be the first console platform where they're going to be launching this game on a console format. If you're looking to check out this next big Amazon adventure game that they're bringing out alongside New World, that will also be coming to console late in October, obviously this October. Then we also found out about a Looney Tunes game that's coming in September called Wacky Worlds of Sports. So yes, it's going to be arriving in September for people who want to check out this brand new Looney Tunes game where you get to play as Looney Tunes in a sports environment, which is going to sound like a little bit fun, doesn't it? The fact that we're getting a Looney Tunes game in a sports universe, but there you go. So yeah, that's pretty cool that they're doing that for the franchise. And then we also heard from the employees of Tanglework Games as they were treated to pizzas on their last day of the job, which is emotional to see them close their doors, as Tanglework didn't really deserve to be closed down, but there you go, that's what's happening. Then on top of that, we also found out that GTA Trilogy has apparently racked over 30 million downloads on Netflix. So apparently the GTA trilogy is doing really, really well on Netflix, according to data right now. It seems to be getting a lot of downloads over there, which is a bit surprising. There, yeah, they've been somehow doing very, very well. Who knows what that could mean? But hey, and also another cool thing is that Helldivers 2 players have also been saving sick kids in terms of Save the Children. They're doing a whole, because Arrowhead, the developers, have been donating to Save the Children as part of the whole cause, which is really nice that they're giving back to charities since the release of the game, which hasn't been, it hasn't been a full year yet, but it's good to see that they're supporting the cause, which is really nice. Blue Point Games are still working on that mysterious original title. Who knows what that game's going to be? I'm sure we'll learn about it eventually when they're ready, but who knows when that's going to be? That could be any time. Continuing on, we did hear some good news about Crash Bandicoot. They have sold over 20 million copies of Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy, which goes to show that the original 3 games remastered is probably a very successful Crash Bandicoot release, and obviously it's now under the Xbox umbrella now. So you can imagine there's a lot of hype about about the possibilities of future Crash Bandicoot games, and also for Crash Bandicoot to make its way to Game Pass, which hopefully that will be coming soon. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds for Crash Bandicoot, and whether we'll see the game make its way to Game Pass hopefully soon. We also had some free play day games, including Cruiser King 3, Hell Let Loose, and Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. They're all free to play until Sunday. If you're wanting to play those games on Xbox, definitely take advantage of that, I suppose. Also, you may have heard about Xbox. They've been refunding anybody who got their hands on the back edition of Redfall. Because of the closure of the Oscar Austin and that DLC that was basically cancelled, that was supposed to be coming out this year, they've decided to refund everyone bought that edition. So if you bought that edition, you probably would have gotten your refund by Microsoft for the Redfall Bite Back edition, which they're now refunding people due to the closure of the company Askin Austin. Then of course another big release coming in 2026 will be the Lord of the Fallen sequel, as they finally there's been a lot of reports now that Lord of the Fallen will get their sequel in 2026 following the success of Lord of the Fallen reboot. So it's good to know that they're officially obviously the company are now working on their next installment that they would like to try, that they've officially said on Twitter and on social media anyway, that they're going to release it on PC, PS5 and Series X and S in 2026. Is it currently in development, and they'll hopefully share more probably next year for the sequel. So we'll probably know more about it in 2025, what they're planning for this sequel. And also another cool news regarding Xbox is that they had some total viewer records when it came to the Xbox Showcase. It seems as though the Xbox Showcase had record-breaking viewing figures in terms of the Xbox Showcase and the Black Ops 6 Direct. So they've been doing really. They had a lot of people watching their show this year, which really goes to show that Xbox really pulled it off this year in terms of the announcement of Black Ops 6 and all the other games that Xbox fans are really liking. And in fact, they've even had very positive feedback from Xbox fans, which really does show that they delivered a really good showcase this year, which I totally agree. They certainly did. They delivered a really amazing showcase this time around. Also, you'll probably be surprised to know that Xbox are also doing their own version of Palworld that's going to be coming to Game Pass later this year. Creatures of Alavine. It's going to be arriving on the 7th of August for Xbox and PC. It's essentially Palworld without the guns, basically, is what this game represents. And so if you fancy playing an alternative version to Palworld, then this game might tickle your fancy. I'll leave it in the description if you want to check out this release in August on Game Pass. Crime Busters Rockefeller City is also offering free DLC on Xbox, and they're currently putting it on discount now, which is around £16 in the UK, $20 in the States. And they've got free DLC that's available right now, which includes the Heavy Hitter Pack, the Dragon's Gold Cup, the Tactical Weapon Pack, and Cognail Order are just some of the packs you can get your hands on for Crime Boss Rocker City, which is getting free DLC and which has received very positive reviews from players of the community, of the fans and gamers who who have checked this stuff out, which is really great. So definitely get your hands on it if you're thinking about getting this game on Xbox. Apart from this, of course, Ubisoft have also led the way for this week's sales, where they put some discounts out. Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar Frontier of Pandora, Skull and Bones, Banished Ghosts of New Eden, and of course Modern Warfare 3 are all on sale right now. If you want to take advantage of those discounts on the Xbox store, maybe a good time to do so if you're wanting to play those titles. But yeah, I think for the most part, really. And also Todd Howard also spoke out about the whole mod situation in Starfield, and that he also talked about the fact that he's doing multiple projects at once. We also heard about State of Decay 3 launching in 2025, or hoping to launch next year as part of the game lineup of 2025, which we'll see. Maybe we could see it in 2025. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's anyone's guess is whether it will happen or not. Quiet Place game is a Quiet Place is getting its own video game later this year, which is good to see that Quiet Place will be celebrating making its way to the two gaming platforms like Xbox and PlayStation, which is great. It's great to see. Clockwork Revolution still figuring out a release date. Hopefully we'll find out at Gamescom what the plans are for this game in terms of its release, for those who are curious about when they're going to release this title. Todd Howard also confirms a year 2 for Starfield, with another big expansion plan in year 2 of Starfield, which we'll see. That will take place. It'll probably be next year for the most part, really, because that's probably when they're planning it. But yeah, so that's pretty much what is going on, really, in terms of yeah, that's pretty much the stuff that's happening in terms of gaming news right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you all when we have more details soon. See you then.